Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another one of my videos. Thanks a lot for subscribing and watching my videos, and I've been receiving a lot of positive and good feedback and I thank you for that. So आज हम बात करेंगे कुछ कॉमन क्वेरीज जो कि गूगल पे लिखी जाती हैं डॉक्टर्स के मुतालिक उसके बारे में. So हम गूगल पे जाएंगे और टाइप करेंगे different phrases related to doctors and we will see कि what are you guys searching for when it comes to doctors. So let's have a look. Right, so let's start with the phrase why do and doctors after that. और जब आप ये टाइप करते हैं तो ये questions आपके सामने आते हैं. Let's find out and see if I can answer some of these for you. The first one is why do doctors say stat? So stat basically एक word use किया जाता है medicine में जिसका मतलब है right now. So अगर किसी डॉक्टर ने आपको प्रिस्क्राइब की है कोई मेडिकेशन और वो आपको अभी देना चाह रहा है तो वो बेसिकली उसके सामने मेडिकेशन के सामने लिखेगा stat like IV paracetamol stat. That means it needs to be given right now. The next one is why do doctors have a bad handwriting? I'll be honest with you, I have no clue. And interestingly enough, I've got a pretty bad handwriting as well. So the next one is why do doctors wear white coats? So I think this is probably more related to the PhD doctors or the lab doctors. There was a time जब मेडिसिन के अंदर और अब भी कुछ जगहों में शायद वाइट कोट्स पहने जाते हैं, but because of the new regulations, especially the infectious disease control regulations, जो कि different hospitals और trust policies का हिस्सा बन चुकी हैं, nowadays white lab coats नहीं पहने जाते, especially with the long sleeves, क्योंकि उनको समझा जाता है कि they are source of infection rather than actually cure. क्योंकि अमूमन ये होता है कि आप वार्ड में जा रहे हैं और आपने बस वही कोट चढ़ा दिया and you feel like a doctor, you look like a doctor. Subsequently, maybe unwillingly, you're spreading more infection that way. The next question is why do doctors finger you? So I think probably what they mean is why do doctors put their fingers in doing a test? We call it PR, which is per rectal examination. और ये बेसिकली किया जाता है अगर कुछ कंडीशंस में स्पेसिफिकली, फॉर एग्जांपल किसी को बाउल कैंसर की सस्पिशन, प्रोस्टेट कैंसर की सस्पिशन, या किसी को कॉन्स्टिपेशन सिवियर हो गया है, दोज कंडीशंस आर द वंस जहाँ पर रेक्टल एग्जामिनेशन किया जाता है. सो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट दे एक्चुअली वांटेड टू नो. और हुआ आई थिंक ये हुआ होगा मोस्ट लाइकली कि कुछ पेशेंट्स का टेस्ट किया गया होगा एंड दे वांटेड टू नो क्यूरियसली कि आखिर व्हाई डिड दे डू इट. व्हाई डू डॉक्टर्स वेयर Crocs? Okay, I think the Crocs are usually worn by the surgeons or the ones who go to the op theaters, जहाँ पे procedures के लिए आप जाते हो. So only those are the areas जहाँ पे Crocs पहने जाते हैं. And the idea is basically क्योंकि obviously it's something that's specifically used for that environment, so ये hygienic होगा और उसी जगह आप use करेंगे. And you shouldn't be actually taking, ideally you shouldn't be taking it back to the wards, but sometimes out of our laziness we are wearing it throughout our stay in the hospital. But ideally I think it's supposed to be more related to that environment. दूसरी बात यह है कि ओपन लुक होता है उन शूज़ का कि एयर वेंटिलेशन भी चल रही होती है, सो in that way probably they are a bit better as well. But I've seen them worn in the op theaters mostly. So the next one is why do doctors tap on your stomach? So again, this is one of the tests that we do. Tapping on the stomach or tapping on your chest, ये दो तरीके हैं जिससे हम ये पता लगा सकते हैं कि अगर एयर ट्रैप्ड है. अगर स्टमक में कोई टैप कर रहा है तो उसकी प्रॉबेबल रीज़न वो ये देखने की कि कोई कॉन्स्टिपेटेड वर्सेस ब्लोटिंग, यानी किसी के इंटेस्टाइन्स में गैस जमा हुई है तो वो उसकी एक अलग नोट आएगा, रेजोनेंट नोट आएगा. जबकि अगर कॉन्स्टिपेटेड है तो डल नोट देगा, यानी बेसिकली आवाज़ उतनी रेजोनेंट नहीं होगी. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज टू एक्चुअली फाइंड दैट आउट. और ये एक पुरानी टेक्निक है टैपिंग जो हम करते हैं, इसको परकशन कहते हैं. वाई डू डॉक्टर्स प्रिस्क्राइब एंटीबायोटिक्स फॉर फ्लू? Okay, so I think probably this is something related to the widespread misuse of antibiotics, unfortunately. And it's a very pertinent thing actually to ask. Actually, doctors shouldn't be writing antibiotics for viral flu specifically or flu in general, because flu mostly is caused by viruses, and viruses are not actually treated by antibiotics. So in order to treat viruses, you have to use something called as antivirals. So antivirals are different, but again, even most of the flus we don't use antivirals क्योंकि flu is such a common thing और हमारी immunity इतनी strong होती है that we actually overcome flu very easily without even requiring any antivirals. When I type why are doctors, so this is what we actually end up with. So it says why are doctors called quacks. So इसमें जो basic मेरी research है which I did a few years back was I think this word is actually related to another word called quack solvers. And that word was basically genuinely used for doctors or physicians of the early 17th, 16th century. And they used to treat patients with different potions. और उनके मुताबिक एक genuine effort थी treatment की और but subsequently those potions turned out to be fake ones और उससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता था patients को. And बाद में ये term फिर quack Crocs के साथ associated हो गया और ये fake doctors या imposters के लिए यूज़ किया जाता है. So basically वो physician जिसके पास कोई degree नहीं है and he claims to be a doctor and basically is not a qualified physician or doctor. So उसके लिए basically use किया जाता है. Okay, so let's see the next one. Why are doctors not seeing patients? So इसका आंसर मेरे पास फ़िलहाल नहीं होगा लेकिन आई थिंक ये probably यूज़ किया गया है क्वेश्चन उस टाइम पे जब कोविड शायद था तो उस टाइम पे इतनी ज़्यादा पर्सनल इंटरेक्शन नहीं हो रहा था, फिजिकल इंटरेक्शन नहीं हो रहा था मेडिसिन फिजिशियंस का और पेशेंट्स का. सो probably उस टाइम पे ये क्वेश्चन आया होगा. But I think now doctors are seeing patients. Why are doctors pushing statins? Okay, so statins basically are some drugs. This is a specific drug class or medicine class जहाँ पर आप treat करते हैं high cholesterol को. So I think जो ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि statins क्यों दी जा रही हैं तो obviously I think he must have got it because he had high cholesterol. Why are doctors always late? So unfortunately this is something which I've come across as well as both as a patient and unfortunately as a doctor as well. But I think it's not a common sight and thank God it's not a common sight. Sometimes because of the emergency situation some doctors do get late कि आपने वार्ड भी करने होते हैं कवर और आपने क्लिनिक में भी आना होता है तो क्लिनिक आते आते आप लेट हो जाते हैं लेकिन it's not a common sight and most of the times we are always in time and the idea is to see the patients in time and treat them in time. Right, so the next one is why are doctors called Mr.? Right, so I think this is more pertinent and related to the surgeons rather than physicians because surgeons usually like to be called Mr. rather than doctor. And इसी तरह से जो physicians हैं specifically जो कि medicine practice करते हैं they are usually called doctors. लेकिन आप hospital में जब भी आप देखेंगे surgeons are the ones जो Miss और Mr. लगाना पसंद करते हैं comparatively compared to doctor. Why are doctor's surgery still closed? I think this is more of a question which is related to the COVID. Because of the COVID, surgeries are not open. But I think now they have actually started to open back up again, and you can see most of these surgeries open, and you can actually go in there physically as well. Right. So the last one on this page is why are doctors called doctors? So I think this is basically a word which has been derived from a Latin word और जिसका मतलब है to teach. So because they've been taught and they are teaching throughout their life, probably that's one of the reasons why they are given this title. How doctors think. I think this is probably more of a book rather than a question, but we think just like everyone else does. How doctors die. Okay, that's a very good question actually. Just like everyone else does. We die as well, eventually. Right, so आज के लिए इतना ही काफ़ी है. I will see you again inshallah with another video and more specifically I will make a second part of this as well because there are a lot of other questions that you've asked. So one video is probably not enough to cover everything. But do remember to like, share and leave your comments in the video below. If you want me to make more of these videos or a video related to a question that you have specifically, please let me know about that and I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. I will see you again inshallah with another video. तब तक के लिए अपना बहुत सारा ख्याल रखिएगा. अल्लाह हाफिज़.